And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Tem-Purr-A, which is about sushi and cats, and is I've not disliked the name of the game this much in a while. I don't know why. It's a really bad pun. But the game is about cats and sushi, and while I'm not the biggest cat fan, the cats in this game have phenomenally cute artwork. I believe my daughter said the word adorable about 22 times. If these cats were serving me sushi, I don't think I would be a fan of cats giving me sushi at all, but I might take it from these cats. This is a kind of an Uno kind of game. That's the kind of category I put it in, but it has an interesting twist. Let me show you. So we'll start out by looking at the different cards in a deck. There are cards in this deck that go from 2 to 7, and they show different pictures of cats. And this is really phenomenal cat artwork. There's also some action cards that you can play. These have a yellow border. And then finally, you're going to stick one indigestion card into the deck. You're going to shuffle the entire deck, and each player is going to get 5 cards. One person's going to start by throwing a number card in the middle of the table. Now, the next player has some options. They can play another number card in the middle of the table, in which case they all stay there. Maybe the next player will play another number card. Or they can play 2 of any number. When that happens, all the cards are wiped, and one of those 2 cards stays in the middle of the table. Maybe I play a 3, then someone plays a pair of 5s. Now, you can also play an action card. There are some action cards. This simply adds 1 to the total, and it's the next person's turn. There are also cards where you can reverse the turn order. There are cards like this one here where you can basically play that and say, it's your turn, you have to play the next card. Here's the one that reverses turn order. And so you're going to keep going. Or you can, or sometimes you have to, decide to eat. When you do that, you remove all the cards in the middle. You count what the numbers on them are, so this would be 10. And you draw that many cards from the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Adding these cards to your hand. Now, as long as you don't draw an indigestion card, you're fine. And the game keeps going. If you do draw an indigestion card, boom, round over. You get an indigestion token. Everyone keeps the cards in their hand, but all the discards and everything else are shuffled back in the deck along with the indigestion card. And the person who went out has an option to add another indigestion card into the deck, making 2. This can keep happening until there are 6 of these indigestion cards in the deck. The game will continue until one person has 3 indigestion tokens. At that point, that person loses, and whoever has the fewest indigestion tokens is the winner. Now, since that will likely be a tie, whoever has the most cards in their hand breaks a tie and is the winner of the game. They have eaten the most sushi. Now, I don't like indigestion. I like to eat food and have it digest properly. All right, indigestion is bad for you, but I do like to eat, and that's kind of the concept here. It's like, ooh, take more cards, add more cards to your pile, take big piles of cards, and sometimes you're forced to. It's funny when there's 4 7s out and someone has to draw 28 cards, and everyone's like, yes, yes, and you keep drawing and hoping you don't draw the indigestion card. And every game I played of this, whoever gets an indigestion card throws another one in out of spite. So pretty soon there's so many in there that it's going to pop faster, and the game really cranks along. I think the first turn is the most interesting because there's only one in the deck. I can draw 20 cards, right? Sometimes you draw a whole pile of cards because why not? That tiebreaker is likely going to come into effect. It really is. Especially with a lot of players, maybe a couple players have no indigestion tokens, or a bunch of people only have 1, and they're tied for winning. Well, at that point, you want to have the most cards. So you might take cards deliberately, eating, and then just hoping you're pushing your luck there. Now, I might make this game sound more strategic than it really is, but I would highly recommend that you don't put anything into that. This is on the same level Uno. However, even though I'm not a fan of Uno and games like that usually because they don't offer a lot of choices, this one doesn't offer a lot of choices, but it was just hilarious fun. As soon as I played, I was like, let's play it again. Let's play it again. I like the idea of watching someone draw 20 cards. I like the idea of just playing 1 card, 2 cards. Great family game. Amazing artwork. While this is not something that maybe I would want to play all the time, and I certainly wouldn't want to play maybe with gamers, for families and other people who are having fun, an excellent game. Just ignore the name. So this cat sushi game. All right, it's Tem-Purr-A. Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!
There.